prankster who got shot at the mall. Fuck him. I'm honestly supporting that guy. Well, he didn't try to sue.
What are you
I don't think he
talking
tried to sue.
about?
Some prankster.
It's a video that I posted on my either I put it somewhere. It was basically about this YouTube prank star. I don't even know who the fuck he was, so I don't even think he's a star. Went up to some guy near the mall that I used to live in, Virginia, Dulles Town Center, and he was like pestering him, I heard, and the guy told him to back off multiple times, and then he just pulled out a gun and shot the YouTuber. And then everyone is like with the fucking guy who shot the YouTuber. Like,
Yeah.
like I would have shot him too.
I mean, was it fatal?
No,
No.
he's alive. He's fine.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
Good ass.
And yeah, 100% I'm with you. I'm with you. You're not it, bro.
Keep in mind, like the fucking system will automatically lower one of your volumes while the other one is talking. So try to be mindful
Bye,
of that.
Macy. Goodbye. Boom.
Affirmations, by the way, make sure you guys let the other person talk. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Anyways, hey guys, welcome back to the Med Podcast. My name is Edward. I'm here with David and Macy. Today we got some bangers for you, as you can hear. I don't know whose topic we want to start with first, but my topic, and I came up with this last minute because it's been something that's been bothering me, so it's not really a trending topic right now, but it's going to be basically the bad sides of customer service. I hate customer service. The fact that every job has it by default annoys the fuck out of me. Minus, I think, what, like IT. Anyways, David, what's your topic?
The comedy shows that I know.
Okay. Well,
I guess I got like since you gave a description, I've been watching a show. They said a lot of crazy shit, and this show was made in like the early 2000s, and I'm just like, man, this shit's funny. Shows now, complete dog shit.
There you go. And then Macy.
My topic is about like delivery and like food delivery and stuff.
Okay.
Compelling argument. All right. Anyways,
Yeah.
who wants to go first?
Not me.
Nose goes and my fingers on my nose.
Sorry, not me. Dogs.
All right, I'll go first. It doesn't matter. We're gonna get to everybody's eventually, so it really doesn't matter. All right, let me start the timer this time before I forget again.
Me who
All right.
leaves before my topic.
If you leave before your topic, on God, you might as well just erase your fucking name from the Med Podcast. Anyways, so
What's that?
are you good?
I'm just doing something good.
No, wait, hold on. This needs your full attention. What are you doing right now?
I'm done. Good.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Anyways, so we've all worked a customer service job, one way or another. David, I know you worked at GNC. I used to work way back when at McDonald's. Macy, she's still working
Had
customer
too many.
service. No, fuck out of here. Technically, I'm still working customer service, and David, you don't have a job, so you don't really have to deal with that. But I just want to say that I think customer service is probably one of the worst fields of work to ever come out of like any industry. I honestly think that front-facing people, when it comes to a job, the ones who have to communicate with customers really should be the ones getting the raises. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think they should be paid more than the CEO by default. Because if the CEO doesn't want to handle these customers, why the fuck would somebody else want to? Now I'm speaking from this purely from not a hatred standpoint, but more so I have a festering bubble that's building up right now with hatred for most of these people that I deal with when I'm at work. And I think it's mixed with entitlement and ego that these people feel like because they've purchased a product or they've spent this amount of money that they deserve to either be treated like they're above you, bless you,
Thank you.
or that they should get everything and can be as rude as fuck as they want with you. Now, David, I don't know if you've had any rude interactions with GNC. I know when it comes to not lower businesses, but businesses that kind of start at minimum wage, like McDonald's, for example, people really don't like to hold their tongue at all. Like, they will speak whatever they want. They'll say whatever they want, do whatever they want. Like, the shit list goes on and on. I think the worst experience I ever had working at McDonald's was somebody who literally tried to tell me that this order was not his, even though he paid for it, even though he said it in the fucking microphone, and him paying it means I legally had to give him the food. But he would not take it whatsoever. Like, he did not. In fact, he got out of his car to come to the fucking window that I was at. I don't even know why. Like, he just wanted to argue.
So for GNC, literally the first day I got there, my first day of training, someone threatened my boss.
Oh my
Slay.
And then I think like a couple months after me working there, someone threatened my life. And I literally just looked at them like deadpan face. I pointed at my camera and I said, "Smile for the camera," and then he got out of the store.
Bro probably felt so edgy doing that, bro.
For sure.
No, because they knew that I am going into criminal justice. I'm, a person that would sacrifice my life for other people.
Okay.
So when my boss got insulted and threatened the first day, I was gonna do something, but then my trainer literally said, "Don't do anything. This happens. Rare, but it happens."
Can I ask, like, if you know the context as to why the customer was so upset? Because I can't imagine someone getting that upset at GNC.
I walked in when it was ending, so I don't know.
Okay.
It's just that, like, when I walked in, and because the trainer and I both walked in, and then she was just like, "Oh, you're a piece of shit, blah blah, like you should do this, blah blah," and then like she's just like screaming, pointing at my boss, and I just literally, like, I was about to walk up, and like my trainer, the guy, like literally just put his hand on my chest and just said, "Don't."
Yeah. Dang.
Jesus Christ. And it's also
It was a
like
woman, too.
times, like, not that matters.
It does.
More highly emotional. Anyways, I noticed that when it comes to customer service, and I know I said this already, lower businesses, whatever you consider that, fast food especially is the worst. Because I didn't just work at McDonald's, I worked at Dunkin' as well. And I'm sure you guys already know Dunkin' is a breakfast place. You get coffee, you get donuts, you get bagels, people are fat as shit. And you also have to deal with police officers. If you're near a police station, police officers come to you like fucking moths to a flame. Like, I can't tell you how many interactions, like bad interactions I've had with customers just giving them donuts. Like, it is insane how people have no patience for anything, but yet, when they need something, they'll be like, "Oh, I want this now. I want this now." It's like, okay, well, you see, there's like 20 people in front of you. Like, you mind just waiting? No, I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait. Like, I want this, bro. When I tell you that shit angers me so fucking much, like, I honestly, yeah, like you said, I want to knock them the fuck out. And it's not even just fast food either. I know I just said it feels like it is. That's mostly where it's worse. But I also worked at Publix, and the interactions I've had at Publix are so much worse. Not even the fact that it's fast food, but because Publix prides themselves on being top tier customer service. Like, that's the reason why you don't mind spending like $20 for a bag of chips, is because you're getting premier customer service at Publix. Like, no, fuck out of here. Like, honestly, when someone comes up to me and they ask for an order, like, "Oh, I want this specific item," and they know it's in my hands, the same with fast food. If you're going to order something and you know it's in my hands, why the fuck would you be rude to me? Like, the first thing you're going to get is some fucking spit in your fries, probably some jizz in your burger. Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Salty surprise, I'm telling you. And that leads me to my main point. And I'm sure you both heard of this, the drive-thru shooting that happened at Jack in the Box in Texas. Apparently, I think it was a manager. There was someone who came in at the drive-thru who was mad about their missing curly fries in the bag. And I guess the person, I don't even know what happened. I think they threw the fries at the window, whoever the fuck it was. The manager came around like she was trying to, I don't even know if it was de-escalating the situation. I think she was just confrontational with the person. And then the second she turned around, she immediately realized that she had a gun. She pulled that shit out, went back to the fucking window, and started shooting him as he was driving away.
Fuck.
Holy fuck, bro. No way. But I mean, it's interactions like that, like with customers, when they're so fucking terrible that they make you frustrated. You just want to act out, but you can't because it's against company policy. This lady obviously didn't give a fuck. And honestly, like, you know, obviously she's probably facing some charges now, but in my eyes, shit, she did basically what everyone wanted to do. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
My question is, why does she have a gun at work?
I mean, in Texas, conceal and carry, basically everybody has that shit. Come on now.
Oh, yeah, I forgot it's Texas.
I mean, they just also removed the conceal thing for Florida. You don't need a permit anymore to conceal carry.
There you go.
Which, I mean...
Which is totally, potentially, may or may not be relevant for us, because we don't know where we live.
Well, it's all Florida, it's not.
Okay, yeah.
Well, yeah,
the audience didn't know that we were in Florida. Well, now we're in Florida, guys.
No, we've talked about, at least I have. But anyway.
Well, if they didn't know, they know now.
So, what was the question again?
Well, I didn't really ask a question. I just stated that, what's it called? Like, she's basically done everything that we've wanted to do before in the past when it came to angry customers like that. It wasn't even, I don't even think an angry customer. It was just a customer who was mad they didn't get, like, fries, which, you know, if you're going to overreact over that, like, you probably should do it where you know you're not in a state where probably everybody is carrying a gun.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of funny to me. And that's the same thing, like, you know, if people are going to argue, oh, we need gun control and shit like that, like, I'm not going to get into the law aspect of it. I think everyone has the right to protect themselves, just like that guy in the mall. Granted, the YouTube prankster, you know, in our eyes, he might not have been doing anything like threatening, but the guy told him to stop multiple times. That's why he shot him. Like, he, in that position, if someone's shoving something in your face, you don't know what they're saying, you don't know what's going on, you're just gonna shoot the person if you fear for your life.
It depends on the lawyer. Realistically, like, the YouTuber broke no laws. Free speech. He was in his face, yes. The guy said, stop coming after me, or whatever he said. So he gave him direct orders of, like, stop getting in my face. So he was warning him. The guy did not look like he was threatening him, so there was no use for self-defense there if there's no active threat. I don't know exactly what he said. Maybe he threatened him verbally. A threat verbal is a threat overall, as, like, it'd be the same as, like, hitting him. So self-defense could be warranted. I think the whole interaction is stupid. YouTubers, like, I don't know him much. I just hear stories. Gideon, he does these crazy, you know, ideas that land him in trouble. People that go above and beyond for their content, cool, like, you're doing what you want to do, that's great, but don't be a dickhead.
Agreed.
I mean, I don't know what above and beyond is considered to YouTubers that perform pranks on people, because at that point, like, you're just a public menace. Like, people, I don't think anybody's laughing aside from the person watching the video. And the guy, like, the prankster kid, he wasn't verbally, verbally harassing the guy. He had something on his phone, a sound that was playing that you can't really make out what the hell it's saying, but he basically shoved the phone, not like shove it in his face, but kept it around his vicinity and kept following him even when he was leaving. He kept saying, stop, stop. Like, I think he said stop twice and then immediately just pulled out a gun. Like, you didn't even really see when he pulled out a gun. He kind of just did and then shot, which is why, like, the YouTuber didn't really realize it until he actually got shot. But that's aside from the point. Like, whenever it comes to customer service and when I'm mad and shit like that, especially when I'm dealing with an angry customer, there are times where it's warranted, but other times when they kind of just get mad to get mad. Like, I wish I could say something. I wish.
So I'm possibly going to incriminate myself.
You shot somebody?
I'm gonna plead.
Have you shot somebody, bro?
I've talked to a professional. Because I don't know how to feel about this. In my head, when it comes to self-defense and endangering people's lives, most people will say, oh, I would never shoot someone because it's morally wrong, or blah blah blah. For me, I wouldn't shoot someone because I don't want to ruin my life. Like, I don't give a fuck about the morality or the ethicality or whatever it's called. I just, like, I'm not gonna go to jail for shooting someone. If I was, theoretically, hypothetically, offered a once in a lifetime chance, oh, this person's getting executed at a prison for doing X, Y, and Z. Give me a gun, I'll pull the trigger. I don't care. She essentially told me that it's not that I want to do it, it's just that my imagination is very, I guess, like, fluid, or very, I don't know, imaginary.
It's artistic in the sense that if you're using the other word, you're autistic, David. Like at that point, you have to realize that people who have killed actual people, like you say that you would do that, like, give me the gun, I'll pull the trigger. If you actually did that, you would probably be traumatized. Like, you would be scarred for life. Like, I mean, there's no fun in doing.
Part of me wants to know how it is, but I'm not going to, because
natural.
It's curiosity.
I'm not going to, because like, I have a whole future ahead of me. I'm not going to risk that future over one event. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, my mindset, I think of it more logically than I would emotionally. Like, morally, I don't, like, maybe, because I have a big heart as a person, so I'm assuming morally I would be, hurt. But when I talk about it, I think of it logically. I don't care about the morality of it. Like, for example, some guy you don't know, you hear that he does a crime, it's confirmed, they're getting punished. Would you kill that person, yes or no?
Why would I bother? Like, why would I take time out of my day to do that?
Why don't you rephrase it to a customer service standpoint? Because you're derailing the conversation. We're not talking about killing people for the law. Like, we're talking about why customer service is bullshit. If you have your own reason, like logical versus emotional, you can bring that into customer service perspective.
I have a way to segue it if you want.
Nah, I was basically just talking. I don't even know how I got here. But no, I like Buffalo Wild Wings. It's not really fast food, or I guess, like, it's still customer service, and we dealt with our assholes. It actually wasn't as bad as most other jobs. It was actually like it's a sports bar. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, there are like a lot of people. Most of the people are like, drunk or like big or like whatever. Like, it's like the whole like question, like, why, like, in my college, our college, we had a police academy on the campus. So we were not afraid of a school shooting, because how dumb would you have to be to go shoot up a school that has a police academy? Like, everyone carries in that school.
Okay.
Congratulations. There'd probably still be somebody to do it anyways, because these people are stupid. Now, that being said, yeah, Buffalo is a sports bar in comparison to McDonald's, which is fast food, and Dunkin', which is also fast food. But there's also like the whole like standard or quality that people have when they visit one versus the other. Like, yes, you're going to a sports bar, but it's still a restaurant. You're still waiting, just like the whole thing we argued about last week about, tipping people. Now, all of a sudden, we're not really tipping fast food workers. We couldn't give a fuck about tipping them. But in comparison to an actual restaurant, quote unquote, you have to worry about the server and if they're bringing out your food fast in time, if they're giving you water, shit like that. Like that's a whole different standard. But at the same time, they're like, that's part of their customer service. So if you're giving them a shit tip, how do you think they feel? Like, they just don't give a fuck about you.
We discussed it last episode. Like, if you guys want to, hear more about our opinions, go look at the last episode. Because last episode was crazy as hell, especially when one of us in the party decided to tip over 100% anyway.
Oh,
so, we already talked about this.
Well, it's not derailing, but it's bringing it into it because it relates to some degree.
When it comes, like, if it's full, like if there's if it's like a sports bar and it's a fight night and there are like so many people, I'm not expecting to get my food on time. If I do, I might even give a bigger tip because like I've worked at Buffalo Wild Wings. It is a nightmare. When it's fight night, like UFC fight nights or whatever, or even like football games. But if it's dead and I'm waiting an unrealistic amount of time for my food, and if I see you talking with a coworker or if I see you sitting down on your phone or whatever, your tip is going down the drain.
So in your eyes, that's terrible customer service, and you'd want to, like, just going off the rails immediately, you'd want to, let's just say you want to kill that person. Is that how you would feel in that scenario? Maybe not
No.
maybe not that crazy, but would it go down that route? If you were waiting, let's just say an hour or two for, assuming you just ordered fries,
I would never shoot someone for something like that.
Well, maybe not shoot them. Maybe not shoot them. Would you knock them? Would you? Okay, I know, but I'm correcting myself now. Would you pound them, knock them the fuck out?
No.
Okay. So you have some standard.
Back when I was saying I was talking to a professional, my whole form of like that is more of like, you know, justice or redemption or whatever, or avenging. I wouldn't just act like she asked me. If someone was knocking on your door, would you open the door and punch them? I said no. That's so stupid. Why would I punch
big
someone
ass
for
lie.
knocking on my
Big
door?
ass lie.
All right, next time come over and I'll punch you. Okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna knock on your door. You're gonna meet me outside like you always do. The fuck.
But no, like I said, I'm not going to start a fight because I have too much to lose. If someone hits me, I'm going all in. Even if it's a woman, if it's a man, if it's a child, boom. Goodbye.
Okay, hold on. Stop. Pause the pump brakes right there, buddy. So if a kid came inside GNC and you just happened to be working that day and buddy immediately started knocking all the shit off the shelves, you would punch that kid.
I just said if he hits me.
I mean, for all you know, he's knocking all the shelves out.
If this kid comes behind the desk and starts trying to wail at me, he's getting floored.
Well, what's the difference, like, if someone were to push you versus actually hit you? Like,
if someone pushes me, I'm just slapping them. If someone hits me, they're done.
You're slapping them with your fist, right? There you go. Macy, what do you want to say about this? Because you worked at a restaurant as well, so you've had to give customer service. And if you get bad tips at a restaurant, you already know that people hate your customer
Macy's
service.
a pacifist.
I mean, I've definitely had moments, I think not necessarily like, yes, a little bit in the restaurant, but most of my worst interactions came from when I worked at a children's museum, because parents are a different breed when it comes to like customer service and like anything really. Some of my worst interactions were definitely like people just complaining about other people's kids or not taking care of their kids, and then like having to confront them and them being like, wait, that's your job. I'm paying you to babysit. False. But
Be in danger then.
no, literally the whole like I made a point to plaster in every surface as they walked in that we are not monitoring their children. It's their responsibility to make sure their children are not doing bad things. We're just... So, for context, I worked at a children's museum. It's essentially an indoor playground. So parents had to come in with their children and like walk around with their children and watch the children play. My job was just to make sure things were cleaned and like make sure that nobody like wasn't watching their kids, basically, and like checking people in and out. Obviously, for those difficult customers, it's like, especially the people who had like a toddler and an older kid, they'd let the older kid roam, and then I'd have to be like, hi, is this your child? Because they were like on the other side of the museum with a random stranger breaking things. So it is what it is.
Yo, Edward, do you remember that one kid, Brixton or whatever? Nah, because Edward and I were about to with that kid.
Listen. But that's the thing, though, right? Like, you just told me that if a kid were to hit you, you would hit him back. This kid did not touch us. He did not touch us. That's the thing.
No, I know.
Right? So you're clearly lying.
You and I were debating.
debating nothing. I wanted to knock him the fuck out too. Fuck out of here.
Boom. See, there you go.
Like, but that's the difference between you and I. Like, if someone were to come up to me, which somebody has, for example, like the whole interaction that I had it with somebody at Chili's, Macy was there as well, over my fucking mask being off my face.
I can't believe I wasn't there.
For one, I don't think I've ever had a confrontation like that before, which is, I guess, why I was so like stunned. It kind of felt like I wasn't even there, to be honest with you. Rethinking it multiple times, I'm kind of happy I didn't do anything. Like, I didn't touch her. No, that's the thing, right? Because if I did, Lord knows I would have definitely been arrested. Like, I would have gone somewhere. Yeah. So thankfully, I was just so oblivious. But looking back at it now, like, no, bro. Because, you know, I'm not going to say she reminds me of Brick, but she's a special breed in the sense that she rides a short bus. But Brick, on the other hand, no. This kid was annoying as fuck, even though he didn't touch neither of us. And that's why, like, I think it's all bullshit with you, like, oh, somebody punches me. Fuck no. If somebody were to start talking dog shit to you, buddy, you knock him the fuck out on me.
So, dude, you just need to remember that, dude. I was so mad I wasn't with you guys, because if I was there,
Well, if you were there, you probably would have been arrested. Fuck out of here.
I mean, shit, like, no, because, like, from what you told me, like, she was just, like, yelling at Macy or whatever.
Well, she was yelling at me. She was yelling at me.
Like,
I started, like, low-key getting strong language with her.
If I was in that booth with you guys and she just started to yell at you, I would have got up in her face.
But
I wouldn't have a mask on.
The entire booth and thrown it right at her. Fuck out of here.
Oh my god.
No, she was mad because he had a mask on.
It was just down.
She was like, COVID's fake or whatever, and like it's a waste of your time.
Oh yeah,
and like you're stupid for wearing a mask.
I think my grandfather died around that time with COVID.
And then she looked at me, and she was like, because I was like let him live, and she was like, well, you're not wearing your mask, and I was like, my mask's right there. I'm eating.
No, that was literally the difference. Was my mask was just down by my chin. Hers was off her face. Isn't that wild? I mean, I honestly think that she just didn't have anything better to do, which is why she came up to us.
For real, and Lana did not understand you. She was right behind us.
Some people have nothing to lose, and that's like, you'd never want to interact with them because they're waiting for an interaction. Now, people like me that, you know, are learning the law, I will find ways in the gray area.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. But he said if I was in that booth, I would have pulled out my imaginary gun and shot that bitch right in the face. I'm telling you.
I didn't say that. I would have used my fist first of all. But anyway.
You definitely would have.
He said I would have used the force so they couldn't track it back to me.
So, like, I would basically try to like make an altercation. Like, I would like tell her like, oh, do something about it. Like, try to like lay hands on us.
She was an old lady.
That she floored immediately.
Yeah, well, she wasn't old. She was just more like middle aged.
She looked like she was in her like 50s or 60s.
Yeah, she was definitely a Karen, by the way. You know,
all I have to do is get up. My big ass, get up. If she keeps talking, she wouldn't. She'd be leaving.
She'd be leaving what, in a stretcher? Fuck out of here, buddy. Come on now. Like, this guy swears to God, I would not touch anybody in an altercation unless they touch me. But if they verbally harass you, you wouldn't even second hesitate. Not even.
It's different when it's my friends or my family.
Different?
Me, I don't give a fuck. But like once like my friends or family are like, you know, getting insulted or getting harmed, that's it.
So wait, your manager then, when she got harassed by that customer, how come you didn't knock her the fuck out?
I was gonna do something about it, but my trainer told me not to. I just said that.
No, you basically told me, yeah, your trainer put a hand up, but basically what you're telling me, friends and family, no go, no chance. You should have did something immediate, I'm telling you.
Well, then again, they weren't friends or family because I just met them that first day.
Wait, that was your first day? I thought that was just you coming back.
I said that was my first day.
Huh? Wait, hold on. Oh, Macy just came.
She what?
No, not like that. buddy, all me swears. But anyways, we have like 3 minutes and 58 seconds left. That's all I wanted to say about customer service. I thought this topic was gonna be one that was a little bit less in time, but clearly we've almost hit the 30-minute mark.
I hate people.
I do too. Like I'm so sick of customer service. I hate having to give a premiere act to people that just like are disrespectful as fuck. They're mad as hell. They don't want to even talk to you. They feel obligated like they have to, and then they treat you like you're a piece of dirt. And you have to stand there with a smile. You have to stand there with a smile.
I dropped that act.
Boy, please, fuck out of here. You still held that GNC job. Fuck out of here.
Yes, and every time people would be disrespectful, I'd be disrespectful to them.
I'm sure you would.
I feel like retail is like a little more lenient to some degree.
When I worked at Wegmans, there was some sort of problem. I think I was bagging that day, and the guy was getting mad at me. I can't remember for what. One of my bosses was close to me, and he was seeing the whole thing, and like he was getting in my face and screaming, and my boss was looking, so I didn't want to like do anything, so I literally just gave him the change, because I think I might have been doing the right register or something, and then like he grabbed the bill and he was about to walk off, and he didn't pull it away from my hand, and I was just staring at him, and then he just hugged it away, and then he went to my manager, and my manager said, "Hey David, good job."
I gave him
my
the
God.
change. You gave him the finger, you mean, right? Fuck out of here.
Keep it change.
I think my favorite example, I just want to tack this on, I don't know how much time we have left,
2 minutes.
of like, I am 100% on the side of like, yes, I will perform like customer service above and beyond and stuff like that, but I'm on the side of like, if I'm being disrespected, I shouldn't have to. When I worked at Red Lobster, my hair wasn't even fully red, like it was like half red and then it was like brown on top, right? And it wasn't like fresh either, it was kind of faded, and my hair was pulled all the way back because we weren't allowed to have dyed hair. So that was like the agreement I had made with my boss. I had my hair in a bun. This family came in, it was like a mother, her husband, and like a small child or something, and I was a hostess, like that's all. I just sat people and like cleaned tables. She came in and I was like, oh my gosh, welcome in, I'll be right with you, is it 3, whatever. And she looked me straight in my eyes and was like, we're gonna go give our business elsewhere that doesn't employ devil worshippers. And like, I didn't have any piercings, my hair was pulled back, I was so pleasant. I don't even know what triggered that. I assume it was the red hair, but I'm like, how did she even see it?
I would have just like started laughing. I would have just started screaming like demonically.
I'm sorry, I don't know what made you feel that way, but have a great rest of your day. And then she just left. And I like turned and I like found my manager. I was like, I don't know what the heck just happened. But
I mean, she must have saw something. I don't know if it was you. She probably had something going
You don't
on.
have tattoos
she
either.
just looked offended like when I talked to her, and then she said that, and I was like, okay. I didn't have any tattoos at the time. No, I was like, I was dressed to the nines. My hair was pulled back in a sleek little bun. My hair, like all the red was just in a bun.
All right, well, we have 15
Nothing
seconds,
about
so
me.
wrap it up.
Yeah, I wish I could have said something mean to her that day. I'm like, been like, yeah, you know what? Just because you said that, I'm gonna pray to Satan that like you die or something, Not actually.
Yeah, that's enough prayer.
We've hit our timer.
Pray to Satan that you have a terrible dinner kind of thing.
Hey, we've hit our timer. So for the sake of not going over 2
But I
fucking
didn't.
hours, for the sake of not going over 2 hours, we have to stop. No more derailing this bullshit because I'm sick of listening to this bitch for 2 hours.
Question: Is our shit for 15 minutes now, or is it still 30?
I completely forgot that it was at 30. I think we were gonna discuss 15 minutes, but you wanted to discuss when everyone was here. So now that we're all here, David, go ahead.
All right. Hello, my fellow African Americans.
No. I meant the 15-minute timer, you moron.
Yes, I know. That's what I was about to address that. So Macy, Edward and I were talking to make episodes shorter because last time it was a little too long.
Yeah.
We were thinking about making our time 15 minutes instead of 30 and seeing how that was going to work. Now we can't really fucking do that, but
I mean, we still can because I mean,
time,
Lord
yeah.
knows.
Oh, so we get fucked.
Lord knows your guys' topic aren't as good as mine. So come on now. All right, I'll keep it at 30.
How long I am.
Fuck out of here.
All right, Macy, you're up.
Okay, I thought you said something about like by the time we get to my topic, I'm gonna have to go. Like, what's that?
Yeah,
what's the deal with that?
I was joking. Calm down.
Okay, good. Because we have to record FNAF after this.
Dead ass.
Hey,
Dead ass.
on me, like, on me. Hey, we're recording right now. We're recording right now. Like, come on now. Where's Pringle, by the way? He's supposed to join us, so he better be on deck like as soon as
You're
we're
still
done.
counting on Pringle? That's crazy.
Because he promised me. He said, "Yep, I'm gonna be there."
Okay, you're still counting on Pringle? Like, hello?
I mean, I count on you to show up here. Fuck you mean?
And I'm here.
Exactly. So have some faith. Get out of here.
No. He's in my server. You can see him.
I mean, I know that, but we're still recording the pot. You know what? Fuck this guy, dude. Fuck this guy. Anyways, we're literally off a
you're talking
tangent.
about FNAF.
Yeah.
Bro, this guy's gonna make me say something.
Do it. You want nothing? Say it.
You're talking about FNAF. Fuck out of here. All right, Macy, are you gonna go second, or do you want David to? Because I hate this boy.
Mace, go 1 second.
Yeah, 'cause
Okay,
David's
I guess
scared, I'm
I'll
telling you.
go. Oh, fuck. I mean, it's not really related, but in my brain it feels related.
Fuck.
Yeah. So my topic, I didn't expand very well, but I was just kind of thinking about this. So ordering food like for delivery and stuff like that, and I feel like it'll kind of devolve into a discussion about like something I was talking to people about earlier is the phrase like you should be living below your means or whatever, or like the grind set to like get rich.
What?
Okay, I'm changing my topic more officially to like the rich grind set, and the delivery thing is going to be like a derivative of that.
Okay.
So to explain what I'm referring to, that thing that like a lot of influencers or just people on the internet will talk about and be like, you need to live below your means. If you make this much a year, you should be acting like you make half, spend as little as possible, and that's how you get rich, right? Like no luxury. I'm sorry I say that thing a lot.
No, because you said that thing. Like we're supposed to know what that
David,
thing
can
is.
you stop interrupting? Fuck.
I didn't know. I didn't say anything.
Wait. Well, you did. You texted. Now look at that picture.
Shaboom.
Like, tell me that ain't Premier customer service right there. All right, Macy, please continue.
Yes. So what I was referring to, I said that thing and then explained it. So you know,
David, stop breathing on your mic. David, stop breathing on your mic. Stop. Fuck. You're distracting us.
Yeah, I explained it. Do you know what I'm talking about now?
No, because David kept breathing on his fucking mic.
Bruh.
Can you please
Okay, I'll
re-explain it?
repeat the idea that people will keep pushing for the rich grind set, quote unquote, that you should be living well below your means to try and save money. You know, if you make 60 grand a year, you should be acting like you make 30 grand so that the rest can be spent. You know, don't ever like pay for luxury, basically. If you're working hard, you should be, you know, saving all that money. And I just kind of want to get you guys' input. You know, I know we all want to be rich. Ultimately, we want to have money. But my take on it is, you know what? I'm working my ass off for all this stuff. Yes, you know, I know some money should be saved, but living well below your means, like if you have nice money, you shouldn't have a nice apartment, you shouldn't pay for delivery, you shouldn't ever eat out. I think it's fucking stupid. Like if I'm making enough money to do it, I'm gonna live in a nice place. I'm gonna have my food delivered because I'm working hard and I don't want to go get it sometimes. All that kind of shit. And like a lot of people give you shit for that. So I don't know. What do you think about the whole shebang?
I mean, you basically said it, so I guess we can move on to the next topic. But
What?
I mean, I'm not gonna say I feel the same way to like the entire extent. Like apartment is different. It depends on what you're spending it. At the same time, I understand the grind mindset. I think you really only hear that being advised like motivational speeches and shit like that on YouTube, because I mean, that's all they say. Like, people who are rich are telling you to live poor so that you can become rich. But at the same time, like, you saving all that money, you don't know if you're going to fucking die the next day. You should, if you're earning money, like, you have the right to spend it however you want to. Like, if you're spending more than you're making, that's your fault. But at the same time, you can manage, like, you can balance your finances just fine and still spend stuff on, like, you so that you're still living your life to the extent that you want to. You can still grind. Like, I'm doing that now. I'm grinding hard as fuck at work. I'm grinding on YouTube. And yet I'm still, like, maintaining and balancing my finances. I'm still investing in shit like that. So, I don't... And obviously, I make significantly less than 60 bands a year. Fuck out of here. But, I mean, it's possible. It just depends on the person. And I know David over here, fuck out of here. Bro has no goddamn money. Bro spending like $100K per year.
For yourself.
Making 0K, I'm telling you. Bro's fake as hell, I'm telling you.
I understand that, thought process, that theology. it's not a bad idea. I just think changing your whole entire mindset and life to be assuming that you're making half of what you're making, I think is a very big over exaggeration of what you should do. I think just, maybe talk to someone financially professional, or even use one of those fucking apps that tell you like, oh, save 20%, like spend 40 or whatever. Like, so I understand where you're coming from with your topic, and I think it's a good idea. Just, don't go as deep with it, because like, let's say you live off 30K, and you're just, fucking making 60K. You're basically neglecting possible events, possible things to do with friends, because you're not allowing yourself to use the other 30K.
Yes, sir.
Buddy said with friends, 30K with friends, that's wild, and I'm telling you.
I mean, Buddy goes to gamble all the time. Shit.
That's
Dave, is that you? Like,
yep.
shit, bro. I mean, hey, when you're with friends, you're definitely spending more money than you have, I'm telling you.
That's on my Pokemon cards. Anyway.
But I mean, that's all I have to say on this topic. Like, there's not really much to say about it. I don't think any of us have the mindset other, like, yeah, or like as extreme as, fuck, I'm gonna spend my money how I want to. I'm gonna be poor as shit. Like, fuck it, okay, do it. Like, that's your autonomy. Go ahead.
Yeah, shit. Everyone's different.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I thought maybe, but yeah, no, I think we just are all in too much of agreement. Like, yeah, it's good to save money, but you also deserve to live your life when you're working so hard to have money to live.
And I mean, you're doing all this saving. You could die tomorrow. What the fuck is the saving gonna do for me if I'm dead? Like, what?
It's true.
Get us.
You should only be saving a certain percentage or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna give it to anybody specifically. Fuck out of here.
Fuck charity.
No, I don't mean charity. I mean friends. I know the second I die, bro's gonna come to my funeral to collect it. I'm telling you. Anyways.
Like what?
You're gonna collect all this money. Hey, I have more money than you. I'm telling you, there's at least that much. Fuck out of here. Yeah. Dad pays for everything. Yeah. Rich kid.
What dad?
Dad. Okay.
All right.
Anyways,
so we're done with the topic.
Yeah.
Or?
wait, are we done?
I mean, I didn't have anything else to like I can't think of anything else to kind of further the conversation. I didn't expect us all to agree so perfectly about it. Thought we would at least be able to talk like a little.
I mean, I'm sure there's an argument somewhere, but we can't really think of the argument.
No, you know what? I fully agree with the statement. Anyone that, spends more than half of their, annual income is retarded.
All right, and we're gonna forfeit our 22 minutes because David wants me to sit here listening to this bullshit. I'm telling you. Bro,
then don't complain. Like what?
Did I complain? I didn't. I just said
Yes,
I'm okay with it. I literally said I'm okay with it.
No, you didn't.
I literally said nobody can come with an argument because we all agree. Like,
okay, that's not. No.
Bro, you actually are retarded. Anyways, all right. Are we forfeiting this?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else to talk about. I don't have any other topic ideas, so.
Okay, then we'll forfeit the 21 minutes and 45 seconds that we have left. So I think this is the first time that we've been over 20 minutes too. That's crazy.
My bad, G.
All right, David, go ahead.
All right. So fucking comedy shows, or just shows in general, anime, cartoons, live action TV shows, movies. Back in 2000s, 1990s, you could say whatever the fuck you wanted. I was watching 2.5 Men. I watched an episode, and then Charlie Sheen was like, "Oh, you can call people queer now." I'm just like, oh, I don't know about all that. But I forgot it was made in 2000 something. So I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, shows used to be so good back in the day. They did not give a fuck about what they said. They would make fun of women. They would, hit people for no reason. People would explode on shows for no reason. Now shit is so died down. The comedy sucks. And there are some shows, which I know we've talked about before, I just can't remember. There are some shows that transitioned because of the whole like Me Too movement, like, you know, cancellation culture. Some even like a big company, Marvel. Most of their movies now and shows are dog shit because they're trying to adhere to all this shit about how like, oh, we want strong women. No, we want strong writing. We want strong writing. The women will come. Like, there are great women in Marvel. She-Hulk, joke. She's one of the best characters. She was actually the first person to break the fourth wall in Marvel before Deadpool. The writing was just dog shit. Like, Hulk having a son, we haven't even seen Hulk in like years. Anyway, what are your opinions? As I said, I think the comedy of shows and movies was so much better back then because they didn't have a fear of being canceled. They could say whatever the fuck they wanted.
So first thing, right? I agree. It is the writing. It's not the writers' fault though. It's the studios. They're the ones that pressure the writers. But the fact that you're saying shows used to be funnier back then is basically the same thing with you. Because I can scroll through our chat and bro said a lot of out of pocket shit. Now all of a sudden you're caring about your future and shit like that. You don't want to ruin it.
I mean, I can't say this shit on your videos. Do you want me to? I can if you want.
I mean, you're not saying it in your videos either, are you, buddy? You said retarded. Fuck are you talking about? Like, I just said to. Fuck out of here. Like,
I just said queer. Like,
and there you go. Like, buddy, I'm not afraid to say it. I mean, this shit's getting like uploaded raw. Now, if you say some dumb shit just to be a fucking idiot, I mean, you said it plenty of times in our chat.
You ain't scared, right? You ain't scared, right? Say where
dude,
right now.
that has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it. I have no reason to say it, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Call me it. You always do it behind cameras anyway. Go ahead.
Behind cameras? Don't even pull up chat. Don't even pull up chat because you said it and you're a white guy. You said it and you're a white guy. Crazy. Like that's the biggest sin right there. In
that one picture you took, it literally so worried. Pringle sent it. Literally.
No, it literally doesn't. And before that, I took two pictures. One of them had the word Gabby in it, and right before Gabby, what did you say? Don't even test me. Don't even test me. Anyways, like you're just so worried about your future. The second you even get famous, not even the second you even make more than $1, that's it. You're done. Like I'm sending your boss everything. It's crazy. Anyways,
I don't care about that. So
my god.
If a time comes, let's say I'm a lawyer and someone, if you wanted to be an absolute asshole and post me saying, I don't know. What the Pringle's favorite word. I would tell them, yo, I was a teenager. Teenagers will say shit.
Well,
if you're gonna hold me against something I said back then you guys are retarded.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's basically what it is with these shows. Fuck out of here. I mean, they can't erase the history. They've already said it. They just have to be better. That's what you're doing. That's literally what you told us. That you're not trying to say any of this whack shit. Retarded isn't even that bad. Like, maybe not to you and I, to someone else, yes, it's hella bad, but the fact that you literally told us multiple times on this episode and previous ones that you care about your future, which is why you're not going to say most of this out-of-pocket shit anymore, like that basically just shows exactly what these comedy shows have been through. Fuck out of here. They just have to adapt with the times. That's it.
Which is stupid.
Anyway, I mean, yeah, you can be stupid all you want. You have the previous episodes, don't you? Go watch them.
I think it also leaves room for like new forms of comedy. Like, yeah, I agree to some extent. I can respect and I can appreciate some of the humor in like older shows that had a little bit more freedom, but also some of it I'm like, because I guess I've also adjusted with the times, I cringe at it. I'm like, oh god, like that's, first of all, sometimes it's just straight up not funny, it's just offensive. And other times I'm like, ugh, like just because I'm trained with the modern like expectations for what is or is not acceptable in media. But I think some new kinds of humor has come out of it. We can't just rely on like brass or that kind of humor like alone anymore. We have to kind of invent new ways to like make people laugh and express comedy without just making fun of groups. So I think it's got a positive spin. I can respect where you're coming from. I do wish, there was a little bit less restriction, especially in certain types of media. And I agree completely. Like the whole like women empowerment shit that is especially in the Marvel area being like really pressed is just stupid. Like you said, good writing will introduce strong female leads and all that kind of stuff. and it shouldn't be such a focal point. It should be casual and like that stupid scene in like the Avengers, like the women power.
Yeah, against Thanos.
That was the dumbest shit
That
ever.
shit was
Oh my
disgusting.
God, it was so
Like,
funny.
like, you know, I love strong women. Like, I personally would want a muscular female as a girlfriend. But
To beat you up.
you know, when I see like, oh, you can't fight me alone. She's not alone. She has us. I should have left that damn theater.
Didn't they straight up say like girl power or something like that?
She said something about like, oh, she has like the power of women on her side or whatever. I don't know, some stupid shit like
It's the
that.
power of women and anime on my side.
Like,
I mean, but that's the
that-
thing. They did it the same way. Not the same way. There wasn't another scene in Infinity War, so there were two different scenes of the woman empowerment. The one in Infinity War when Wanda was on the ground, and then I think it was Black Widow, and then I forgot the other person, but she was part of the tribe
Black
from
Panther.
Wakanda. Yeah, that scene, they didn't say shit. Like, it wasn't shit about us being women, nothing. That shit was so fucking cool to see. And then Endgame in comparison, they didn't say anything about girls, but the fact that they're like, oh, she has us, like, how are you gonna make it through? To Captain Marvel, by the way, she could have just flew through that bitch, but
Literally.
they literally set it up so that she said she's not alone. She has us, and then all the females. Like, what? That shit was
you know,
cringe. as fuck.
when Captain
Like, it
Marvel got
could've just been
knocked out by
everyone.
Thanos, I was so happy.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Captain Marvel in general, I'm not a big fan.
Like, 'cause
I don't really care for Captain Marvel.
I understand. I don't know much about Captain Marvel. Aside from Marvel Cinematic Universe, I don't know anything about her. I heard she's powerful, but Thanos is literally like, you know, top dog. So the fact that a girl,
Okay.
let's say Captain Marvel, is going up to the Mad Titan and thinking she's gonna take him on solo, I should throw up.
No. Okay, hold on.
Is it
Because
supposed
Captain
to be, like,
Marvel,
the most powerful?
she could have done it. The only reason why Thanos punched her was because he absorbed the Power Stone in his hand. Like, he had to use one of the gems for the creation of the universe to fucking hit her. Like, it's not even a whole thing about him being stronger than her, just base level. Maybe he is. I don't know. I don't know the comics like that, but she is one of the strongest Marvel characters.
Yeah. Like, for example, if it was like, you know, Thor versus him, I wouldn't have liked that either. He's a god, yes. He got a power up, yes. But if it took the entire Avengers to take down a single person, and this female comes out of nowhere thinking she can take him down, no.
One of the strongest, by the way. One of the strongest characters, by the way. Just
Yeah, Thor was too.
Well, I mean,
for that.
that's
Bye-bye.
why in Infinity War, him with Stormbreaker, he threw that shit right at all of the gems, and that shit was literally going through it. Like, I understand, like, the power scaling is different. I mean, it's a movie, by the way. Like, the writers and, you know, the directors are the ones that make it how it is. But I mean, yeah, that whole scene in Endgame was fucking cringe. And I mean, I still loved Endgame. Like, if we had removed that scene, it would have been. I mean, it still is perfect, but removing that scene is even better.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I agree.
So one thing that Edward and I have complained about recently was a singer / band called Your Favorite Martian,
Yep.
who was the host of Equals 3, Ray William Johnson. Their music back then, they were saying all kinds of shit. They were talking about whipping kids. They were talking about drinking orphan kids. Grandma on Facebook.
Orphan tears, not orphan kids. They're not drinking kids. Orphan tears. Calm
My
yourself.
bad, my bad,
Come
my
on,
bad, my
orphan
bad.
tears.
And now their songs are so bad.
But they're adapting with the times. Like, they care. They have. I don't even know if it's care anymore. It's just knowing who your audience is. Because, I mean, you know, obviously the kids that originally watched it, that loved the music, they grew up. So maybe there's a new audience, you know, a new audience, new generation, new time. They just have to adapt in order to become relevant again.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I mean, shit, I don't know any show that's been the exact same way. I mean, I can't think of it off the top of my head. I don't know any show like that survived. They all get
Gordon
canceled
Ramsay's.
usually. Okay, Gordon Ramsay is
Gordon
different.
Ramsay is respectful. He just is mean. That's the difference. Is like he doesn't rely on like disrespect.
No, he does.
I mean, he does, but he's not
No, he
using
does.
like the F
To
slurs.
disrespect, though.
He's not using a bunch of slurs, you know, at the
No.
owners, at the crew mates. No, he's not doing any of that. Like, fuck out.
He's
by the way.
disrespecting because they're terrible chefs, not because of their like race or their sexuality.
Exactly, dude. I didn't say he didn't curse. I said he doesn't use slurs. Like, bro, what the fuck?
What's
But,
the
I
one
mean,
that hasn't changed? Let me think.
Yeah, think.
I mean, I can
real
think of
well
plenty
hard.
of examples of like artists that still have like plenty of support.
Trump?
Yeah, but
I mean, hey, that's
I
different.
like-
That's different.
a comment
The president?
one for me is like Ronnie Radke of Falling in Reverse. Like he's controversial as hell because he like has no filter, but he's still touring and he's like selling out shows and shit.
Well, I mean that's a different side of it as well, because obviously, yes, there are the, you know, just for a lack of a better term, the snowflake generation that we're in right now. But there's also people who, you know, now they're the bearers of truth or whatever the fuck you want to call it. They just speak their mind, which is why they're admired. Donald Trump is one of them. Like, forget politicians aside that he's Republican. Forget about all that. He just speaks his mind. Like, he'll say shit, the most out of pocket shit at like presidential elections and shit like that. Like, people just love when people talk their minds. They're not hidden behind something. But at the same time, people who are adapting to it, yes, to some extent they're hiding, but they're also adapting to the times. It's that simple. So there's two sides of it, but I mean,
I was talking with a friend. I don't know if it was you. It might have been someone else. How we were talking about how most YouTubers have changed as well. And then we were bringing up like how there's this movement. I can't remember the name.
Me
where
too.
it's no, fuck that, no. It was like bring back old comedy or some shit on YouTube, and Speed was one of the people that they were talking about because he let everything out. Like he didn't care what he said. Now I will hold my tongue because if I don't have a reason to say something, I'm not gonna say it. But if I'm in an argument and some fucking dude dressing up like a girl walks up to me and starts shit, I'm gonna let him have it. Those Modern Warfare lobbies, those Call of Duty lobbies, they train me for this.
Just like water, huh? Just like water, just flows out. Okay, dude. Modern Warfare lobbies. Don't act like you played Modern Warfare back then. Come on now.
Modern Warfare 3? Yeah, represent.
Represent, right? Represent.
Yeah, survival, represent.
I don't know about all that. I mean, even if you're talking to somebody who isn't cross-dressing or whatever the appropriate term is nowadays, you're still gonna call that person, you know, all these slurs. Like out of here, just like water. I said, just like water. For this guy.
Yeah. I should pull it out of my mouth.
Okay.
Need to update your vocabulary. I'm telling.
No, we gotta keep that shit tight, locked.
Okay. And that's why, hey, you definitely don't care about your future. Stop saying that. Fuck out of here.
Hey man, if I'm going down, we're all going down. You feel me?
I mean, I don't know.
I don't want to go to jail, but I'll get canceled as fuck.
Yeah, but that's not going to jail. That's being canceled. And like, realistically, if I get fired from my job because of something I said as a kid, I will literally just leave. Like, I'm not gonna stay there.
I'd like to comment. As a kid, are you referring to right now?
No, I'm talking about like when we first started YouTube, me and Edwards, like when we actually said shit, like a lot of shit.
I mean, we
so
said
buddies,
stuff.
You're not a kid anymore. They're about to pull up these podcast episodes and be like, it says here, David.
Yeah, but I'm not saying anything now. I'm talking
You
about
just
back
said
then.
retarded and queer. Fuck out of here.
Retarded is not bad.
To some people, it is. It's more so
Then
appropriate now to
cry
say
about it.
mentally disabled, which I think is more funny.
You also said, I don't care about killing people. I just don't want to go to jail.
Shit.
So I'm voicing my opinion. First Amendment.
And you're wrong. And you're wrong.
You think that you're gonna be what? I don't know. I don't know the rigorousness of law school, but
I'll bring up a hypothetical as well.
Okay.
I made sure I was hypothetical.
Hypothetical or not, internet jail was
it's the one
terrible.
for the law.
I mean, yeah, it's a topic. Like, go to any ethics class, go to any like class like that, and they're gonna talk about like, you know, oh, would you pull the lever for the train to go on the other side to kill the baby? Like, bro,
That's what ethics is, though.
I remember that shit, bro. That was like a whole 2 class periods in my philosophy class.
Wait, there was a girl in next class, and the question was, you're on a boat, like a life raft, because your boat crashed. You have X amount of people. Including those people, the ones that I remember are a chemist, a engineer, a kid, and an old woman. There were more people, but those ones I remember. And they said, who would you kick out? Or who would you kill to eat? And they were like, oh, we killed the engineer because, you know, they're trained to swim, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, Navy engineer. And we were all like, bro, what? Like, he's the person you would want to keep because he's going to fix the boat or the raft or whatever. Like, he's, like, and trained to swim? I don't think you understand how harsh the seawaters are.
I mean, like, the kid, no, he doesn't provide you any meat. You probably throw out the old lady or whatever the fuck.
No, 100% the old lady. She's lived her life. Goodbye.
Now, I just want to remind us that the topic at hand was about comedy shows. I know we've derailed, which is perfectly fine, but we have 13 minutes left. So if there's no reason to continue the topic, just let me know, because this shit's already over an hour.
I mean, usual time.
Usual is an hour 30. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't think there's anything else. Like I said, I was referencing 2.5 Men. Like, he literally, like, Charlie Sheen just, like, said, like, he was reading a newspaper. He's like, oh, by the way, Alan, it's okay to call people queer now. I'm just like, I don't think that would fly nowadays with all these fucking snowflakes and, you know, people in those groups talking about some equality. Blah, blah, blah.
Well, you also have to remember that some forms of media, I'm not going to say they're immune, but music is one of them. I was just listening to Eminem, like Rap God, and he immediately uses the F slur. I think he uses more. I only saw that, like, I only listened to the first couple of seconds just because I wanted to learn the song.
Wait,
but...
like agate or what?
Yeah, agate. Yeah, he uses maggot. He uses that word, swap it with an F. But at the same time, you have to remember, people who've learned this song, like, is it okay to say it if it's part of a song?
Oh, it's like the same thing with the N-word, like with white people.
I mean, hey, teachers with their books, like, I'm gonna say the N-word, guys. Like, just let you know, like.
I just tell my professor to let it rip.
Oh, I mean, of course you do. You're Caucasian. I said it. You're Caucasian.
Caucasian, Hispanic, by the way, Hispanic.
Caucasian, Hispanic, bro. You're white as snow. I'm telling you. Anyways,
Macy's white as snow.
But like I said, like, is it okay?
Actually,
if it's part of a song, is it okay to use the F slur?
I think it is. No, so here's the thing. It's a form of art. Like, if someone
for sure.
Like, if someone like paints something and they consider it offensive, like, it's art. It's technically under free speech.
Oh, okay.
So music is the same. There's, like, to kind of like give you a little side example, people confess to crimes in rap songs. They can get arrested for saying they killed someone. But if they say, oh, I shot this guy, like, next to Buffalo Wild Wings at this time, and it checks out, they're definitely getting arrested. But if you're just like, oh, I'm gonna shoot them here, like, it's... Like, you can't get arrested for doing that kind of stuff. So, deviance is a social norm. So it depends on the society, like, what we all agree on. Which is basically, like, the whole, like, oh, don't say the N-word, don't say the F-word, blah, blah, blah. It depends on your audience. That's one of my rules in my server.
Okay.
So, like, when you're talking to people, know who your audience is. That's one of my rules. Like, you can say whatever you want, but, like, for example, if you're in like a neighborhood where there's, like, you know, 50 black guys around you, and then you say the hard R, like, and you're white, expect to, you know, get shot or some shit.
I mean, it's also the same thing if they give you the pass, like the N-word pass. At what point can't you say it, even with the N-word pass?
Because some black people don't acknowledge that. They think they don't believe that's a real thing. Some people do.
Well, because it's not, David. It's literally just a hypothetical. Like, it's not actually a thing.
Wait, did you see that TikTok video about the Among Us character? Go ahead, Macy, I guess.
I was just gonna say, like, another example is in Dirty Grandpa. When the scene is that he is given the pass to say it, like, is that as acceptable as well?
But it was during a song. Like, that's the argument that I was making. Is it okay to say it if it's a part of a song?
Well, yeah, but he says it as it's part of, like, the scene for the song.
Yeah.
I guess, like, Jackass is another good example. They haven't changed either, like, throughout the years. Like, the last movie we just watched, like, that, like, that shit was weird as hell.
I mean, but they weren't.
Yeah, I mean, they're not using
bombs.
offensive.
They're not using a bunch of bombs.
Yeah, but they're showing penises.
I mean, that's okay. That's not offensive. It's more open now.
Yeah.
It's more open now. It's more
More
open
than
now.
anything, it's not like inappropriate stuff. It's like offensive things. Like, yeah, you know, you could consider it offensive, but it's more like targeted, offensive, like slur words that are more so like the cancel stuff in comedy. I still see plenty of like just dirty humor all across the board,
Here's a question.
or like gross.
Similar to what Edward said about the past. There was a TikTok about how this guy was at a booth at a con, I think it was, and he had like a sign on his chest that said, "Say the N, like the hard R, and I'll give you $20." A guy in an Among Us costume walked up to him, stared him in his eyes, said the hard R, snatched the money, and ran away. What do you guys think? Like, if the guy's asking you to say it, do you
I mean, he
like for the
sucks,
money?
Was the guy black?
We don't know. Like, he sounded white as hell, though.
Was the guy asking black?
Not, yeah, is the guy asking black?
Yes.
I mean, hey, at that point, if he's asking you, if he has a sign up that says it and he's willingly acknowledged that somebody is going to come up to him and say that bullshit, I mean, for all I know, he probably had to pass like 30 times. But at the same time, I mean, videos like that could easily be staged. Who the fuck is walking around with an Among Us? Like,
It was a Comic-Con or something. Like, it's just
a Comic-Con. So it was most probably definitely staged as fuck. Like, fuck out of here.
Here, I'm gonna post it in the server, and then you can put it in the like. They don't actually say it. Like,
video.
it's not audibly heard because he kind of like blurs it out, I think. But if you want to post it in the video, it is kind of funny.
I'll think about it. I'm not gonna watch the video just yet because I mean, if it's basically you just describe one at the same time, like
Among Us one,
there's really not much to comment about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, like comedy, it adapts with the times. There's people who like dark humor. I think dark humor is fine. I mean, that's basically what comedy is. That's what dark humor is. It's laughing at the stuff that makes you uncomfortable, which is why like all these 9/11 jokes and shit like that. You know, obviously there's an audience for it. I mean,
The submarine jokes.
if you could somehow keep an audience with all
Oh
this
yeah, I'm
shit,
going straight to hell for that.
oh yeah, I mean, that was funny as fuck. Like the submarine jokes were hella funny.
The
I'm not gonna
controller.
hold you. Still survived, by the way. Fuck, Logitech,
Survived.
their sales went up. Yeah, the Logitech controller fucking
No, I
survived.
thought you were talking about the people in the submarine. They're dead as hell.
Buddy, did you actually think I was retarded or something? No, like I
Yes,
know they
actually.
died. I know they died. Come on,
Okay, see, like this is like another controversial, like you know, TikTok. If you want to post this to it, you know.
I'm not gonna post any of these, but he's trying to get me banned. So this guy's channel is gonna be in the description, by the way. He's afraid to post
for
it
it.
on his channel. He's afraid to post it on his channel, but on mine is perfectly fine. Look out of here.
I'll put it at the end of my next video.
You better. I better see both of them completely full with the
Both of them.
words.
Both of them.
Both of, yeah, I want to see both of them. But at the same time, like you have to remember, like the whole thing with Jackass about him being nude, I think that's also another weird indication that we're in a different time because people are in like they're sensitive when it comes to slurs, but nudity, like full on nudity in public, they're okay with. Like that to me is wild.
Yeah,
You're-
it's a little bit goofy, and it's crazy too because it's like some things that seem like they would go together like that, or like slurs and like inappropriate apparel and stuff like that. It's like some of it is very, very strongly like discouraged, and other shit is like encouraged simultaneously with like the like girl power movement or like free the nips or anything like that, or like even being an asshole because you're a minority. Those kinds of things. I'm like, we're not really making any progress by canceling certain things and then promoting other things that are still not good, which the examples I used are not all like bad, but things that I would have expected to be kind of associated in the same direction. I don't know. It's crazy the way that like things just switch around. It's like we're just using dark comedy in a different way, I personally think.
Yeah.
But I don't mind. I think the new dark comedy is funny. I think old dark comedy sometimes is funny. I don't know, like some things maybe I don't know. I guess I don't care for some of that old humor personally, but
Like that SpongeBob meme where the title of the episode.
I mean, nay, like dark humor, no matter what it is, if it's dark humor, like the whole thing, like how many police officers take the screw in a light bulb, like that shit is funny.
That's just funny.
Like I don't care what people say it's offensive. They beat the room for being black. That's all it is to it. Like that's all I'm gonna say.
That's funny. The Charlie Sheen joke, like, oh, it's okay to say like queer. That's not funny to me. I don't really care. Like, I don't get it. Why that would be funny?
Oh, I didn't say it was funny. I was just saying how like it's
okay. It was just a comment.
Yeah, that's what
makes sense.
Oh wait,
I was like, that's a lot of.
Buddy, I'm not putting any of these in the video. By the way, stop posting them in our chat. This guy
literally shows it right there in the thumbnail.
Literally the thumbnail, bro. What the fuck?
How is YouTube not taking? Okay, so does YouTube not care about all this stuff? Like, does YouTube like allow it?
I mean, they allow nudity on the platform, so I'm not surprised by this. But I mean, hey, that's all I have to say about this topic. So,
but yeah, I think this topic done. That's all I really wanted to say about the topic. How I understand, like as you said, I have also changed. Like, I'm not just like going up in the city talking about some yo, what's up, fat? Like, no, like I'm not gonna do that. But I do prefer jokes like that.
Yeah, that's the thing too about like keeping it off camera or saying it on camera. Like, I think when it comes to racist jokes, especially racism, I know there's been a lot of TikTokers caught sort of like with their pants down, quote unquote, that, you know, they'll forget that they're recording and then they'll say like the N-word, they're white as hell, or they'll say something racist and then start laughing at it, see that they were recording or they were on live or something like that. Like, the whole argument of it's okay to be like racist or whatever it is, like behind cameras, I think that's wild. At the same time though, like if you're a certain way and you act just more appropriate, like for you and me, David, like we're definitely certain ways off camera. It's not entirely different like the way TikTokers are, but we just won't say certain things on camera. When we're off camera, we act the same way. We just say these things.
Yeah.
You especially. So,
because I remember like one of my first memories of us together was when we both got sent to the principal's office, and your mom was like, "Oh, aren't you the kid that curses with my son on?"
No. The way I remembered it is when I saw you there, your dad saw my mom, and Buddy immediately went, "Your son curses on the phone with my son." Like,
no, it was your mom. It was 100% your mom.
No, it was yours because I know your dad hated me for cursing. I remember that because the second I would curse around him, bro would give me that look every single time whenever I was in person, and that's why he hated Caesar. Like you told me, he hated Caesar. That's the reason why.
Yeah, but it wasn't just his cursing. Caesar's just personality is just like disrespectful and like.
I mean, for sure, hella.
But since the last time I hung out with him, and I don't hang out with him anymore, since the last time, he's definitely better. But way back when, he was definitely like
no. When he gets heated on the game, he's still like he will go out of pocket as fuck. He'll say every word in the book when he is angry as fuck. I mean, like when I'm angry, I'll decide if I want to, but him, no, it's unhinged. But I mean, hey, that's an argument for a different time. So.
That's prerogative, right?
There you go. That's his autonomy too. All right.
There we go.
Like I said, that's all I wanted to say on the topic. We have a minute left. Did you guys want to say anything else?
Nah.
No, I've got everything.
So next, when is the virus? 7 days? Oh no, we have time. So we're gonna record something for Edward's channel after this podcast.
Wait, why are you spoiling it? Like, dude.
So anyway, wait, isn't this video? Oh no, it's a Halloween special. You talked about how you're gonna bring it up.
I did get fun.
So I guess because it was never uploaded. The 5 Nights at Freddy's, like my review before the movie came out, right?
Hold on, we're gonna forfeit the 45 seconds. By the way, just want to say that so we have it on record.
Like this will be our last like our outro thing where like we talk about life and stuff, I guess.
I mean, it's just whatever you want to say else. Just don't make it 30 minutes.
So black holes, huh? No. Yeah, so if that wasn't uploaded, I think one of my next topics is gonna be the movie.
You mean your review for it? No, that episode wasn't uploaded.
Okay, yeah, so like not my review, but like my, I guess what I'm expecting from it.
Yeah, your expectations.
Because there was something going around which I'm not against, but I'm also not for, someone brought up from something new that came up. It was either like a trailer or something that the animatronics were talking to Mike. I don't know if that was a dream or if that was like them actually talking, because nowhere near in like the first couple games they talk. Like I think the first one that talks was like either William Afton or Baby.
I mean, I have no idea. I'm honestly gonna go into their. I'm kind of upset that they're gonna put it on Peacock, because now I'm having like a moral battle with myself if I want to watch it on Peacock versus the theater experience. I know with the theater though, there's gonna be a lot of people there.
Oh, that's why I'm not going first night.
Yeah, I mean, I usually do like the preview showing. Like Macy and I will go preview screening on Thursday night. Like out of here.
I'm probably going like a couple, like maybe a week after, because I know there's gonna be hella kids, and I fucking hate kids at movies.
Why the fuck would there be kids as a Five Nights at Freddy's? Well, parents.
It's Five Nights at Freddy's.
Parents are stupid. Like, there's no argument there. Anyways,
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to keep this for the next podcast, David.
I'm not gonna go into it. I'm just saying how, that's gonna be probably one of my next topics. And I was also gonna bring up. I've already told you I'm going to be streaming Five Nights at Freddy's to my friends who don't go to theaters or don't have the money to. I'm still gonna watch it in the theaters no matter what. I'm down to come up one weekend and then we all watch it together. Or if you guys don't want to spend money, you guys can watch my stream on my server when I stream to my friends. It'll be a weekend. It won't be a weekday.
I mean,
I want to see it in theaters. Fuck
yeah,
that.
we'll definitely see it in theaters. If we watch it again, it depends on how good it is. If it's dog shit, which I'm hoping it's not. If it's dog shit, no fucking way. I'm not gonna waste more
I'll be
money on it.
so mad, bro.
Because
The critics said it was good. Like the what was it called? The focus group or whatever. Like the movie people that watched it. They said it was good. So we'll have to wait.
And see. Yep, just have to wait and see. Anyways, if there's nothing else really that needs to be said, I'm hungry and we have food waiting. So, thank you guys for joining us on this episode of the podcast. Like David said, I'll have a video up. I don't know if it's tomorrow. Whenever I get finished with it, it'll be the first FNAF again. But there will be a twist. If you guys saw the first one, you'll know what it is. But with that being said, thank you guys again for joining us on the podcast. We'll see you next week. Have a good night.
Good night.